Go ahead, ladies
All
first.
right. Well, I want to say welcome to the Science Behind Success Formula Masterclass. My name is Annette Draper, and I'm coming to you from my home in central Mexico. Been down here enjoying the casa and working from here. It's nice when you can work from anywhere. And it's been a lot of fun. And Andreas, where are you coming to us from?
Well, from Miami, Florida, and very excited to be here with you and super happy for the people that are connecting to this masterclass, The Science Behind Success Formula.
Yeah, this is going to be an amazing hour. So those of you that have joined us know you're not here by accident, okay? We are all about attracting to our life what we want, whether we realize we're doing it or not. And you are here because you were brought here. So there's something bigger here for you. So Andreas and I are grateful that you took the time to join us today. Whether you're on with us live on Facebook, we welcome our Facebook friends. And for those Facebook friends that are on, feel free to share this and connect more people in this amazing opportunity. We're going to have you share this success formula. So like, who doesn't want more in life? Like, we all are seeking more, right, Andreas? It's, as spiritual beings, that is what we're here for, is always seeking that fuller expression and expansion. And so we're going to dive really deep into some amazing principles that will change your life and bring you more of what you want. Andreas and I are both really grateful to be a part of the Proctor and Gallagher Institute with our mentor and friend, Bob Proctor. And that's how we came together. And through that, we have developed a really rich friendship and relationship, and we love to work together. We read daily, and we love to share this incredible work that we do. Just a different mindset, right? To bring you more of what you want. So we're in the business of getting you what you want. And so I guess this is my photo op moment here. Again, my name is Annette Draper. My hometown is Grants Pass, Oregon, where my husband and I operate a very beautiful facility for over 23 years, Club Northwest. We have over 10,000 club members, one of the largest businesses in Oregon, and we've been recognized for a lot of awards over the years, 23 years. So we definitely know people. And in that, you only build a business like that of 10,000 people in a town of 38,000 if it's built on love. And so for me, that's my belief in people. That's what makes me a very, very good executive coach, working with businesses, starting with my own and others, and then a high performance coach for individuals. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity of the lessons and the experience that I've had in business as an entrepreneur, building multi-million-dollar businesses that we operate. And I love life, and I love living life in the spirit of it and teaching that. So that's what I'm about, and I'm really grateful you're here today.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Annette. And well, you know, this is me. I'm a global high performance coach and wealth management and financial expert. I come from the financial industry. I used to be an investment portfolio analyst. That's what I went to school for. And in 2015, I was stuck. I mean, I was earning $60,000, $70,000 per year. And even though that I went to school to study finance and investments, I feel like it was something more out there. And I come from a family of entrepreneurs. I'm originally from Colombia. I came to the States at the age of 15 and went to the School of Business. And I was happy with my job, but I knew something inside of me want more. And even though I come from a family of business owners, I found myself doing the same thing like most people all over the world. Like 96, 97% of the population around the world, they follow a pattern. And I'm not saying that having a job is a bad thing. It was like my dream was to become a full-time entrepreneur. And I was stuck. I wasn't living the way I wanted it. I didn't have the relationships that I really wanted it. And everything changed when I met Bob. I came across Bob Proctor back in 2007 with the movie The Secret. And I had some mentors in investments that they taught me so much. Like, honestly, I learned more from them that I literally learned in school. I mean, school taught me valuable knowledge, but the power of mentorship, I found it through my first mentors that were in investments. And I kept myself moving forward and searching and really going deep on who I really was. And nothing major happened until I came across Bob in 2015, at the end of 2015. And it took me 2 months to quit my job as an analyst and to really start creating my own business. And now, today, we are operating not just in Florida, we're operating in New York, California, Colombia. We just recently came from Brazil, Argentina. We have clients in Dubai, in Germany, in Switzerland, in Spain. And I'm not telling you this to impress you. It's to impress what you are capable of doing when you have the right information. And that's exactly what happened to me. That's exactly what happened to Annette and all our clients that are working with us. Because yes, there is a science behind success. And when I came across this, literally, I was blown away. I mean, how come, someone that went to school, that graduated from college, from the School of Business, and knowing about investing, knowing about managing the money, but not knowing about how to earn money, and not even our biggest asset, which is our mind. And at that second, everything changed for me. Like something clicked within me, and that's what we're going to share with you. And I'm super happy, super excited you're here. This doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. Something inside of you clicked, because what we are about to unfold here, what we're going to share with you, is the actual science behind success. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to really go deep. And it's not happened by coincidence. It really, happens because you're supposed to be here. You are. There's something inside of you that click, and now you're here. So what do you want to add before we go deep into it, Annette?
I would just add, let's get into the spirit of it, Andre.
I love it. I love it. Probably see him in the movie The Secret. And this gentleman right there on the screen have created millions of multimillionaires around the world. Okay, so you go to magazines. I mean, he's at the top of the list as a leader, as a teacher. Some of them considered #1 prosperity teacher in the world. I mean, there's no one out there like Bob to teach you how to get results, to really help you get you unlock of your reality right now, to really start thinking about what you want. And then this gentleman, mentor Annette Draper, and myself. And now we're taking this to a whole new level, because our mission in life, our passion is to really wake people up, because people are sleeping. Like people around the world, they're not happy with their results. They're not happy with their relationships. They're not happy with their health, with their finances. I just came to meet with someone and not happy with their finances. You see? So it doesn't matter where you are, where you come from, your past. What matters is where you're going, moving forward. Okay? So I really want you to start thinking, and we have surprise for you. So if you stay until the end, yes, we have a free one-on-one. We have a lot of freebies. We love giving things out, valuable information out. And one of the gifts for you that you're watching this masterclass is a free one-on-one high-performance coaching session. I mean, this session will literally transform your life. And the best seller of all time, Think and Grow Rich book. And if you already have it, we have another book. We make sure you get an amazing, valuable book to read, to really expand our mind, which is the most marvelous asset that you and I have. So open your mind, because what you're about to really experience here is going to take you to a whole new level. So take it away, Annette.
So, all right, well, let's jump into things. So really, when you think about it, I love this slide, by the way, and Albert Einstein, right? And so many amazing quotes. I love to look at quotes, and I love words. I love language. I love conscious language. And it is everything. It means everything, because whether it's words that you're speaking out or thoughts that you're thinking, those are words, and that is germinating into results in your life. And as Bob Proctor, our mentor and friend, says, don't think or speak anything you don't want, because you will get everything you're thinking and asking for. So thinking about that with your imagination, and like logic will get you from A to Z, right? And imagination, tapping into that true potential that each one of us as creative beings was gifted, it will get you everywhere. And this slide, of course, from the movie Up. So the real question that we ask in the very beginning of the principles is, what do you want? Like, what do you really want? And if Bob Proctor was right here with us, he would be a little bit higher volume in that, wouldn't he, Andreas? And he'd be like, what do you want? Shaking you up a little bit. Because I don't know about you guys. Andreas, I've talked to you about this before. When I was first asked that question, and it was at a Matrix event with Bob, our mentor up in Toronto, I had never been asked that before. At 55, current age is 55, grandma, mother of 3 amazing children, and all these things that we put on ourselves, like I made life about that, about what I thought I was and what the world wanted of me, what my business wanted, what my family wanted, my children as a mom, as all these things. And, you know, that's beautiful. And while I'm grateful for all of those amazing gifts and opportunities in my life to become who I am, it's not who I am. I am, and you are, a spiritual being. And spiritual being is always for expansion and for expression. And so when I asked myself that question, I was asking that, why am I here? Why isn't that here? And that's where we go on this. This is the direction we go in the very beginning. And you got to know what you want to know where you're going. You must have a compass, an inner compass, and it's operating anyway, whether you're aware of it or not. And we'll get into awareness a little bit later. So really, what do you want? Start thinking about that as we're going through this, and really start to dive in. So, wow, what's that, Andreas?
Well, I mean, you know, Bob is someone that, you know, have traveled all over the world.
Nice
Okay.
plane.
I mean, thank you. Well, it's an amazing experience, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, he has traveled all over the world, and he came out to the conclusion that it doesn't matter what age, it doesn't matter, you know, who you are. There's 3 things that everybody wants in life. Number 1, it's, I want to be free of financial concerns. Like, think about that. Second thing that Bob found out that most people want in life is to wake up every day and choose about what you're going to do today. And I remember when I was an analyst and I had a job, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't waking up every day like that. And one day I woke up and I remember, like, wow, if it was today. And I looked myself in the mirror and I asked, okay, if I wanted it to, you know, if I can do whatever I want in my life, well, am I about to do what I'm going to do today? And the answer was no. At that second, I knew I had to change something. I knew I had to change something. And wow, I mean, so grateful that, you know, when you open up to the opportunity, guess what? Opportunity comes. And I came across Bob, and it took me 2 months to literally start living a totally new life. 2 months to quit my job and really start taking, you know, like having my dream, like really living my dream of becoming a full-time entrepreneur. I was so excited. I mean, and the people that you surround yourself with, oh my God, an amazing, you know, clients, you know, colleagues from all over the world. I mean, are you waking up every day like that? Like, how I'm going to spend the day? Probably yes, or probably no. So what are you going to change? What are you going to do today? Not tomorrow, not next week. I mean, you know, and when I saying that, you know, I always had this quote from Steve Jobs, you know, and he said, like, he knew he had to change something, like in too many days in a row. Like, if you're not feeling happy, right, you know, you have to change something. I mean, and I love when you said, Annette, like, you know, we're so powerful and all the power is inside of us, but we really have to embrace the change because people are not happy with their results, right? But they're too comfortable with their results. I was super comfortable. I mean, in my job, yeah, happy getting paid to invest millions of dollars, and I'm not saying this to impress upon you. Like, what is it that you're going to do? And I got myself uncomfortable out of my comfort zone, and boom, everything changed. And the third thing that Bob found out is that you want to have more time to spend with family and friends. I mean, such a beautiful picture of you, Annette, with your lovely husband. Please, come on.
All right, I'll share a little bit on here because this is actually what brought me to this study. So, we talked about the personal growth and the lineage of that. So in our company, we are all about personal growth. Over the 23 years, I've invested personally in myself over $200,000 in who I am. I understand that I need to go out to experts to bring in. You're always learning and growing and expanding. So our company's always understood that. We have partnered with some of the most magnificent companies over the years to grow our team and ourselves. We even have a ropes course in our backyard of our club, our health club, that you do trust falls. Like, we do it all. We do it all. And we've been blessed to have beautiful people attracted to our company over the years that have brought so much to us. So that being said, I was very familiar with personal growth. I had the book Think and Grow Rich. I read it the way most people read it. Read a chapter, read through it, I think I'm done. That is not how you study something. You want to really learn something, you study something, because you're always, as a spiritual being, in a different vibration, different frequency. So we're always learning every moment of every day. For me, even though I had so much accomplishment in my life, one of the things that was happening inside of my spirit was my vibration was dropping. And even though I had beautiful days in our business and I was really good at what I do, I'm really good at what I do in my businesses and growing businesses, I was at a point where I wasn't being fulfilled. And so some of you out there maybe listening, maybe you're in that same space. Although I was very accomplished, the bank account would show that. To the outside world, my relationships looked very vibrant and beautiful. And even this picture of my husband, Scott, my precious soulmate, my husband, Scott, an amazing human, and my best friend, this picture was actually taken right before I was diagnosed with a tumor and several cancers on my body. And even though as happy as I look there, I was faking that because I didn't feel love for myself. I knew that I was at a vibration of like my purpose, and I had been given everything I had to this business. I mean, it's a lot that we give in that business with that many people. And I had forgotten about myself. And I had my purpose revealed to me that was to love the one I'm with. And I thought, I'm really good at that. I love everyone I'm with. Like, I'm really good at that. I was born to do that. And yet that was not what I was being told. And that's actually a book that I will be writing next year. It was to love the one I was with, me. We tend to put everybody else and everything else before us. And in that, forget about ourselves. And in that, that doesn't serve us. And we're going to see a little bit more on how that shows up in our bodies when we look at the stick man, how it vibrates differently, it manifests. So of course I was manifesting things that weren't serving me. I didn't love myself. And even though right there in that picture, it probably looks like we're pretty good actors, aren't we? And yet the love of that man for me, I knew it was there, and I needed to learn to know who I was, that I could deserve a love like that. And so I made a decision very shortly after this was taken that I was going to quit my job at our company. I was going to leave the business, and I was going to love me. And my husband said, do it. And I found myself within weeks in a health crisis, in emergency surgery. And it was that day, because there's no accidents, as Andrea said, and you're on here for a reason. We're going to tell you some of our stories. It was that day that a dear friend of mine, Carol Howden, sent me a text in the moment of my crisis and sent me a link to Bob Proctor's Matrix event. And I just clicked it. I clicked it. And that was the moment that changed my life. I made a decision that day in energy because I was seeking something. Maybe you're on here and you're seeking something. That's why you're here. I have goosebumps saying that. So I'm glad you're here. Know that there's more for you. There's more for you. So that was the day I found that. I found a meditation that I'm going to share something a little later that Bob had done. And I used that meditation during that week to think into the result that I wanted, which was a healing. The power that made my body, the power that made your body can heal your body. And I did that. And in 5 days, I had surgery. The doctor the following week, my doctor for many years, said, we are looking at a miraculous healing, Annette. Energetically, you healed your body. So I personally know the power of this work in a manifestation of a gift, I believe, from God. I have deep faith and my belief in myself and my purpose. So that brought me then to fast forward two months later to Bob Proctor. I had made the decision to quit my company. My husband said, go love you, do you. And I found myself telling Bob, I know why I'm here. I'm here to share your work with the world. And I'm committed to doing that for the rest of my life. And now that's resulted in, here we are right now, Andreas, right? Having fun, touching lives around the world. I have a radio show that begins January 1st called Impressions of Increase. That's my company, Impressions of Increase LLC. I'm working on a TV show with Phil Goldfine in Hollywood. So much love to say, I said what I wanted, and now it's happening. I had the courage to say it. And in that, one of the things I wanted was this deep relationship and love with my husband. And I had to love myself first. And so through this work, I truly did that. And then I asked for what I wanted. And I wanted to have that back, that moment. And I have it. We're here at our house in Mexico. We have a beautiful love affair again after 23 years. We have so much fun. And so whatever you want.
Here's what I did for those that probably, they're not having success with their relationships and really are looking to find, their soulmate. And I remember after watching the movie The Secret, I put it into testing. So we don't think it works. We know it works because we live it. We live it, yeah. Right? And I remember that I wrote a letter. I still have it. I wrote a letter exactly the way I wanted it, my soulmate to be. Exactly. And then months later, it took around 6-7 months later, I met my lovely wife, Juliana. And then after the conversations, we found out that we come from the same neighborhood, okay? Obviously, same city, same country. We came to the United States the same year, same month, days apart.
It's amazing.
We had people in common, but we never met them there. And she did the same thing. She wrote a letter and he talked about vibration, by energy. Like we, without consciously knowing, we attract each other. It didn't happen by accident, it happened by design. So opportunities are all around you, okay? They are here, they are here. I mean, waiting for you. And everything that you're seeking is seeking you in return. And that's what the science, the formula of, the science of success is all about. Like when you start working in harmony with this formula, guess what? You start winning because you are going to attract everything to the fulfillment of your goal, right? So, you're here. I mean, you're in the right time, you're in the right place, you're with the right people because I was stuck. I mean, if I look myself 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, I was stuck, okay? And I was an ordinary person that, became a full-time entrepreneur. I was able to multiply my income by 3, by 4. I mean, how that happens? It doesn't happen by luck. It happens by design. And that's what we're going to talk about. So think about the results that you are experiencing right now. And think, do results just happen? I mean, how do results happen? Because we really have to take a look. I mean, and that's, so powerful to really start thinking in a higher level. Start thinking, what is it that you want? And look at your results right now. Why you're not getting the results you want? Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right.
You're right. It's whatever you say it is, right, Andreas?
Exactly. I mean, it's your decision, right? And once you start tapping into, really this powerful information, right? You really start understanding our biggest asset. And that's what got me doing what I'm doing today. I mean, I moved from the financial industry to the personal development industry once something clicked in my mind and I understood, not just intellectually, because finance guys, engineers, lawyers were kind of, logical and rational, and we need to know it all from A to Z to make a decision. Guess what? Not anymore, because now I understood that the most powerful asset that I have as a human being is our marvelous mind. And all I have to do is develop it. And that's all I want to develop it. So let's really go deep into it. So the first thing we got to understand in the science of success, behind success formula, is understanding paradigms. Okay. And paradigms are a mental program that has almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And get this, almost all of our behavior is habitual. Okay. So you're getting the results today because you're conditioned, you're programmed. If you're not getting the amount of money that you want, guess what? There is a paradigm around money that is holding you back. If you're not happy with your relationship, there's a paradigm around your relationships that is holding you back. I mean, if you're going from one relationship to the other, to another one, I mean, it's because of your paradigm. You're conditioned to live that way.
And guess what? Those paradigms that we all have, and paradigms are not good or bad. And actually, it's just whether or not it serves you. Does it serve you? Does it serve your purpose? And my husband, Scott, actually, he's in the study as well. He actually says that he believes that sometimes they think that they're like your friend because they're protecting you from something that's unknown to you. And those paradigms that we all have go back generations. They go back generations. So sometimes something comes up and you're not even sure why you behave that certain way, or get emotional maybe over something that's said or done, and it's deep. And so these principles that we're sharing, just know there's an answer for it. There's a way to shift these, and that's the love of like who you are. You can change anything. You just need to first be aware of it. And then we have a process and a practice that we do that actually shifts it. It's super simple. We call it change the paradigm. And what, Andres?
Right. So is that the reason why we look so much our relatives?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
That's
you
right.
like certain foods, you like certain things, you don't even know why you like it or you don't like it. It's inbred in you. It is in your DNA. And again, it's not good or bad. It's just right now in my life, is that paradigm or that belief serving me and getting me what I want? If I'm comfortable with it and I'm good here and satisfied, like Bob says, don't ever be satisfied. Be happy, never satisfied. There's always more. And if you're stuck in that, it's interesting. It's operating us, right? Me and you. And the results that we're getting are a direct effect of that. And yet we aren't even aware of it. We just think it's how it is. It's how we've operated our whole life, So yes, it affects everything. Like Andreas says, our paradigms affect absolutely every aspect of our life. Just an individual belief. If you're on here and in your workplace or you own a company, you have cultural paradigms, beliefs, habits, practices that are operating your company. I know I do in my company, and we're working on those. Our executive team, they're all in this study. So we're moving into the next, using these principles into the next level of operation. It's amazing when you add these principles to your company, because it's not just a personal paradigm, there's company cultural paradigm. So maybe that makes you start thinking a little bit about using this material to move your company forward to new things, instead of staying in that comfortable realm. Let's go big, right? So company paradigm.
Absolutely. And I love you bringing that up because, what is a company? I mean, a company is a group of departments, right? And departments are made of people, humans, right? And that's what creates your cultural paradigm. So what I absolutely passionate about, paradigms, is that once you achieve your paradigm,
done.
It's permanent. The first principle, and now we're going really deep into, this masterclass. The first principle we got to understand is goal setting. I mean, make a crystal clear picture of what you want. Like, when we first started, we asked this question, like, what do you want? Like, what do you really want? Not what you think you can have, what, it's in your bank account. No. What do you want? Like, imagine if you have all the resources right now.
And you do. And you do. It's available.
What would you do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, start using your imagination. I mean, you shared that super powerful quote, in your imagination. I mean, it's a marvelous intellectual faculty out of the 6 that we have, and really start thinking about what you want. Just think about what you want, not what you can think you can have. No, no, no. Like let your imagination wander. I wonder if I become a full-time entrepreneur. Like if I really go, you know, to show the world my purpose in life. What about if I wanted to buy this home or improve my income? If you are in sales, like to really multiply your sales to a whole new level. Like think about the possibility. Okay. And the first thing, you know, you got to start with is that you need to know where you're going. Because if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? So the first principle is goal setting. And once you have that crystal clear, you're successful, absolutely successful. And I mean, there's no powerful, you know, meaning of success like, you know, Earl Nightingale put it on this quote, as success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That is so amazing. And I absolutely love it because what is an ideal is an idea that you fall in love with. Like, are you really doing what you love doing? If not, when? If not, I mean, if you're not going right now, when is going to happen? Right? Because now is halftime. I mean, how are you going to play the other half?
Team departments in our company, and 160 employees, and so there's a lot of goals going on, and never ever had I ever heard as an entrepreneur about A goals, B goals, and C goals. And to tell you the truth, even though we're really proud of our successes in our company, Club Northwest, we never, our company actually was a C goal because my husband, Scott, that was his vision, and he had no idea how to do it. And you're going to learn more about that. And yet he really wanted it. He could see the image in his mind, and he knew that if he could see it in his mind, just as you can hold it in your hand. As Bob, it's one of Bob's quotes, which I love. And so we operated in the A and the B goals. We'd be in our, P&L meetings, budget meetings, okay, so 2018, let's go, what, 10%, 15%? Ooh, right? Does that sound familiar, right? Financial guy.
Oh my God. Well, that when it comes to investment, 20%, oh my God, that's 20%. Like a year.
Crazy, like, right? That's the kind, and so I am the kind of person that operates in a whole different realm. Bob will call me a unconscious competent in that I just, for whatever reason, I always, and Bob's the same, I always just see it, and Andreas knows this about me. I know that if I can see it, I can have it. I know that I can create it. I know I can get to it. I have had that kind of deep faith and belief in what I see in my imagination. And so I've operated my life like that. So there's been those things that have been seagulls, and yet that's not where I operated all the time. It wasn't my mode of operation. However, in my accountabilities in our company, it would be these crazy things I'd say in a day. Okay, today we're going to do 40,000, in the spa. We're going to do it by this, this, and this. And at the morning huddle at 10:30, and by the end of the day, we did 42 or something. People go, "How did you do that?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just said it. I said it. I believed it. I put the energy out, and I attracted it to me." So for whatever reason, I got that gift, and you all have it too. You just haven't accessed it yet, and you will. So that was where we operated. When the Seagull thing, like, wow, it's taken our company, it's taken my life to a whole nother level. So it's like no limits. Do not put limits on yourself. You are unlimited in your potential, right? Infinite potential. So when that came up about 8 years ago, my dream car was this. I love BMWs. So BMWs are what we drive, and had some beautiful ones. My husband ordered me a beautiful one time. I've never ordered my car. If you're on here and you've ordered and created your own car, it's the funnest thing ever. And I hope we show a picture of it. So for like 8 years, I've had this dream car. And yet for whatever reason, my self-worth was, well, you're fine with that model or that model. You don't need this one. And you know what? I finally got to a place in my self-image. I thought, why not? If I've held that image for this long, why can't I have it? And so I have a lot of friends in the industry that have inspired me with their dream cars. Mariko's one of them. Thank you, Mariko, with your Porsche that you walked in and said in your jeans, I'm going to buy this car. And they go, you're going to what? And she bought the car. Like, I did that. Like last month I did that. I walked into the BMW dealer and I built my car. And it's actually I just got a text that it just got sent. It's being shipped right now. And it's a BMW M motor. It's like 600 horsepower. Like, what does a girl need with that much power under the hood? It is a custom color. It's custom everything. It's the M package. It's everything. The cabin, they call it a cabin, has it all. Even to the point, Andreas and listeners, that I ordered yes, I did, a Swarovski crystal gear shift. So the outside's masculine and the inside's, and it has LED lights and infrared cameras that if a deer, because where we live, deer's in that at nighttime. So it has infrared at night that keeps me safe and keeps me from, hurting an animal or something where the car will literally avert. It has everything. And it's in the 6-figure. And you know what? My husband was looking going, you go, girl. And is that okay for you, that payment? I said, oh, it's fine. Sure. It's great. No stress, just total belief. And so I'll take some photos and shoot you a picture when it's on Facebook. You get to see it. I'm really excited about it.
That
Thanks
is so
for letting
amazing.
me share.
So you go where you want. I love it. Exactly. So think about what you want. I mean, and this is not just material things, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I want to clarify this. It's just, think about what you want. So the second principle is the knowing doing gap. I mean, there's a huge difference between knowing the path and walking the path, okay? I mean, and that's the reason why you see brilliant people that graduated from schools, I mean, top 8 in their class, they're not happy with their results. I wasn't happy with my results, not even my financial results. And I went to the School of Business. I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy about it. I mean, it got to a point that, like it wasn't unacceptable, but I changed. Okay. So think about right now, okay, what is holding you back? Okay. What is that knowing doing gap for you? Okay. I mean, it's, what you're supposed to do, but you're not doing it. So what we help you do is that we take you step by step and we show you exactly what to do and how to do it to really start closing that gap between where you are to where you want to be. Okay, using a proven system, a proven methodology. So don't think, this is like a get, rich quick scheme or something like that. No, it's about your potential. I mean, like, go for what you want. Like, you want a car, put it there. Like, go for it. Like, you want a bigger house, go for it. I mean, if, like, life is really short and we're supposed to go for what we want. Remember, it's not what you're gonna get, it's the person you're becoming in the process. And I had a session yesterday with one of my clients and he was blown away because we were talking about that. He said, oh my God, like super excited. I mean, very knowledgeable. Let me tell you, very knowledgeable in the personal development industry. Like, this man is brilliant. Okay. But he was stuck. And we started working together now. Said, wow, what I have grown in the past month is incredible because now I know what was holding me back. And now you're helping me close the knowing doing gap, right? So think about what's your knowing doing gap and we help you close it. The principle number 3, the subconscious. And please explain what's the subconscious mind.
Well, I mean, most of us think if you think of, and I know you're going to do a little drawing for us a little later, Andreas, but we think about the mind and really no one really knows what it looks like, right? And so Andre's going to get a little bit more into that. When I was asked that question, I kind of thought about, oh, that's my brain. It's like, that's not, you are not your brain. Your brain is an organ and it's actually like a computer. You put information in and you can also take it out. And a lot of us walk around this world in the thinking mind, which is the conscious mind, right? That part of us that are knowing what we know. We really value ourselves on the knowing. And yet in this work and in these principles and working with Bob and Andreas and then the other people in this company in PGI, it's like the subconscious mind is really where I begin to be aware of this precious power that lies within me, and that I get to also create the awareness with my clients. And you talked about your clients. I literally, while we've been on this webinar, I've gotten 2 messages from the clients I was working with earlier today, just about the wow ahas and the shift in them vibrating. They're just vibrating differently and they're seeing their world differently. And that makes my heart happy that I had that kind of an effect to share these principles with people. So it is so beautiful what we do. And this is where our power lies. I talked earlier about the infinite power and potential that each of us was designed with. That is who we are. And we are all energy, beautiful, precious energy. And yet we don't access it all. We're not manifesting in our life the things that are possible for us because we're not aware of the power that's in that subconscious mind. That's where your imagination is. These are where these higher faculties we'll get into a little bit more that really do, when you access and work more in those is when you really begin to bring to you everything you want in the world. And that's what we do in these two principles. So subconscious mind, when you unlock that and begin to become aware that it's always working for you. Everything we put into that subconscious mind is there. And from the time you were very young, so a lot of our beliefs and things are there because we were told something or the environment or culture. And yet it isn't who we are. We get to choose. We have the power and a process that actually helps you to reframe some beliefs and things that actually moves you into that power. And it's fun, like it's fun. Visualization, different techniques that we do with this that are so beautiful, which we're going to do a little visualization in a little bit here. So subconscious mind is really where everything that you want is. And yeah, did I leave anything out there, Andreas, that you want to share more?
Well, I mean, this quote, the most genius, scientists in the world cannot explain gravity. So you don't need to understand all this. I mean, in order for you to put it into work, principle number 4, which is really start unlocking your true potential. Okay, start really paying attention to that everything around you is energy. And I love this quote from, Albert Einstein. I mean, it says everything is energy and that's all there is to it. So what we got to do is to really match the frequency of the reality you want. I mean, and you cannot help but get that reality. Like, what is it that you want, right? Like, there's people that say you have to live in your reality. No, you don't. I mean, if the things that you are experiencing today are not to your liking, do you really want it to live in that reality? No. But that's what we have to understand. And you're never gonna change something coming from the problem, coming from the same circumstance, the condition, the people, the money, your bank account. You're never gonna change something. Like, you really have to let your imagination wander and start thinking about the things you want. And it's all awareness, guys. And it's your ability to live the good that you want, right? And what we do with this process, these formulas, to really start take your awareness to a whole new level, like to really expand your awareness. And I love and you mentioned this and it all the time. I mean, we're partners and read together and study together, and you always like, when you're not having a good time, that's an amazing time to really start developing your awareness. Because it's not when you're happy, no, it's when you really are looking things from a different perspective that you start seeing the light. So the principle number 5 is really start thinking into the results you want. Okay, and that's what we help our clients to do, like to really start thinking on the things that you don't want, not on the things that you don't want, right? And most people are conditioned to live through what their 5 senses are telling them. But we have intellectual faculties. We mentioned our imagination. We have our memory, the reason, intuition, the will, the perception. I mean, when you really start tapping, those intellectual faculties, I mean, that's what really creates your life, your experience. And we help you how to develop them to a whole new level.
Of something Bob Proctor shared with us in May up in Toronto, when he was talking about this, and he was talking about, because it's all about our self-worth, isn't it? Every result in our life is about how we see ourselves, our self-image. And in elevating that in awareness and elevating that, we get different results. It's insanity, like Einstein says, to believe that you'll do the same thing over and over again and get a different result. That's the definition of insanity. I remember Bob talking about the law of compensation. And as a business owner, I loved this formula. I've never heard that before. I've never heard the law of compensation before, and it definitely resonated. And he shared something that really, it left an impression on me. I want to share with you. He said that when one of his goals was to work with Earl Nightingale and Lloyd Cohen. That was one of his goals. He wanted to do that. He wanted to learn from the best. And so there was a job, I think it was to share, they had a program out, kind of a sales, because Bob did sales earlier on, and he applied for this position. They didn't really have one for him. And he just said, I want to work for you. And here's when I can start. I can start Monday. And they were like, well, we don't exactly have a job for you. And he's like, well, that's okay. I'll just do whatever. And they go, and the question that they asked Bob was this: what do you expect to be paid? What do you expect to be paid is what they said. And you know what his answer was, which I was so impressed by? Bob Proctor said this: you can pay me whatever you want, but in the end, I will get what I am worth. That
Wow.
is the law of compensation. Knowing that there is a need for what it is you do. And if it's not what you're doing right now, then find it. There's some reason you're here. There is a need for you to do what you're here to do on this planet. Okay, there's a need for Andreas, there's a need for Annette, there's a need for all of us. So let's find that. And then your ability to do it. Know if that is your need and that is your purpose, you have everything within you to do it. We are designed for a purpose. It is there. And when you do go do it, it's in how good you apply yourself to that practice, to whatever it is you're doing, in the difficulty replace. It will result in the amount of money that you're receiving in compensation. So if you look at your bank account right now and you're not like seeing the value that you want there for what you know you are, you're in the right place today, because you're going to learn some things today and hopefully hop on a call with us later that's going to create more of what you're looking for. So that is the law of compensation. And I absolutely love you'll get what you're worth in the end, right?
So principle number 6 is leadership development. And I mean, this principle is very special because, and you touched a little bit about, you know, self-image, which is amazing. I mean, look at you. What was that?
That was, I took my husband on an Alaskan cruise in July, and I was so grateful that I surprised him with this trip. And that was at the glacier. That's the glacier behind us. And he captured that picture. And because in this work, that was a real celebration for me, that I was really living life and I was really stepping into my purpose, and it felt really good. So it captured that moment, and Katie used it. Thank you, Katie.
Oh, amazing. I can't
Fun
see that in
picture.
your face. Oh,
That's
you're
joy,
happy.
right? Joy, 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 joy.
You, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about self-image, right? I mean, everything's about how we see ourselves, and life is a
Yeah.
mirror. It's a mirror, you know, and whatever you're projecting out there, whether positive or negative, it's how you see yourself, how I see myself. And so what I love about this work that we do, Andreas, and helping people with this get what they want, is that we're really elevating their self-image. And in that is all the beauty and all the potential, that's the dreams, the things that maybe we forgot about, don't revisit because we don't believe we deserve it. And actually, if I could just say, I'm right now in my home in San Miguel de Allende, which is the heart of Mexico. And my husband, Scott, built this home for me 16 years ago. And we've came here for 16 years, although not for me, not very often. And it's called Casa de Angel because he calls me Angel. And even at the door, it has that on it. And we share it with many people. We love to gift our home. We're going to be doing our first seminar this next in 2020 here called Built on Love. Stay tuned for that. Little plug there, Andreas. But what I wanted to share with you is that my self-image, up until just being here this trip, I never actually appreciated, not appreciate, it's not the right word, recognized that this home was built for me. I didn't believe I deserved it. And I think that's why it was 2 years that I was here last, and 3 years before that, and years in between coming here. And it was because who am I that another beautiful soul, my husband, would build me a home so opulent as this home? It's gorgeous. It's filled with so much love and beauty, and it's incredible. And yet I didn't feel I deserved it because my self-image didn't believe it. And this time being here, through these principles, through this work that we do, of course, I just got back from India. That was, of course, a big impression. And that was right before I was here. I see things differently, and I see the world through different eyes. I see the world in eyes of so much love, and that starts with love for myself and my self-worth. And so I walk around this house now in such love and just vibrating in all the love in it, and just such appreciation and a knowing that I do deserve it. You deserve anything you want too. And maybe there's things that in your life right now that you have, like I had this beautiful home and I didn't think I deserved it, so I didn't actually use it. I gave it a lot. What do you give a lot that you have because you don't think you're good enough? You are good enough. I'm good enough. We're perfect, designed in perfect DNA, and the rest is an illusion. So yeah, self-image is my passion, as you can tell. It's what I love to teach and share on, and it elevates everything. So,
I mean, yeah, I think it's about time to like really, you know, put some some of our techniques to work, right? And how to use these formulas. So, Annette, why don't you take us
Yeah.
into to the visualization, huh? So,
Yeah. So before we do that, Andreas, let me just set this up for a moment. If you're, just go ahead and just take a moment and give yourself permission to just enter a whole new world. Okay. Because when you talk about these principles and you talk about these goals and seeing things, we really need to maximize and utilize these higher faculties. And you can say, I can say, I want this. I want that. Guess what? As my friend Anders Hansen says to me, we don't get what we want in life. Sorry to be the one to tell you that. You get what you feel. You get what you're emotionally connected to. And there's an amazing book by Neville Goddard, Feeling is the Secret, which my mentor, Phil Goldfine, reads every morning, and I do too, because I do what Phil does. So that's a book, Neville Goddard, Feeling is the Secret. And in that book, it talks about this. And so when we do a visualization, it's not just seeing on the screen of your mind, what it is you're saying you want. It's also believing it. It's feeling what it's going to feel like. And I was sharing that with my client earlier today. It's literally, and it takes a belief, doesn't it, Andreas? It takes a faith,
absolutely.
a big faith to see that dream. Like for me, that car that for 8 years I wanted, but I didn't believe I deserved it. To walk into that car lot and to say, I want that. And I want that with it and that and that, and smile the whole time in complete harmony with it, because it was meant to happen. And it's not about the car. It's not that it cost 6 figures. It's who I have became in the process of getting to that car. It took me 8 years to do it. So get that. So when you're doing this, you have to feel it. It's so important to connect emotionally to what you say you want. Because guess what? Whatever you're emotionally connected to, you are manifesting. You may say, I want to have this in my life, and yet your belief is this, you're getting that, not what you want. And I know that because that was my life. And so when we do this little visualization, I really want you to give yourself permission to go there. And Andreas, if you want to go ahead and just get relaxed, put your feet to the ground, taking a couple nice deep breaths, and I'm going to walk you through a little guided meditation.
That was amazing. So going forward, principle number 7 is overcoming fear and procrastination. And, think about the fears that you have right now. Can you hear me good, Annette? Think about what is holding you back. Think about, the opportunity that you have in front of you, and really understand that what is holding you back, it's not who you are. It's who you think you're not, okay? And we really help you start getting a positive mental attitude with fear. That's right, because fear never goes away. But when you have a positive mental attitude, you become unstoppable. And that's what this part of the formula, teaches you to do, how to overcome fear and procrastination, which is the opposite of decision. But you gotta make a decision. Like you really have to, make a committed decision with yourself. Like really to go after what you really want, what you saw in that visualization, which was absolutely incredible, very touchy, very powerful, right? What you saw is real, okay? And there's a process, there is a methodology to bring all that into your life, into your material world. But we gotta understand that we're not just that, okay? We're God's highest form of creation, but it takes the development. We have the tools. When we came to this marvelous life, we came with the tools to be free, but we have to develop them. And that's what this success, formula, that we talked about, that we're teaching today, teaches you to do. Okay. And it works 100% of the time. And that's one of the things that really excites me, because I don't care if you wanted it to improve your relationships, you can. If you want to improve your health, you can. If you want to improve your finances, yes, it works all the time, 100% of the time. It works for Bob, it works for Annette, it works for me, for every single human being. The principle number 8 is the power of praxis. And praxis is the integration of belief with behavior. Okay. And when you really start doing that, that's when you are going to start getting the results you want. I mean, that's when you really start closing the knowing doing gap. And let me see something here. When you really start, untapping your true potential and understanding, really understanding who you are and how to use your mind, your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and the body. Your body is an instrument of the mind. Okay. So what we have to do is have order in our minds. And most people live in an ignorant state of mind, which is simply, not knowing, in automatic thinking. So people worry about the things that they are experiencing. They're doubting, they're having negative thinking in their conscious mind, and that creates fear and procrastination. And that is suppressed into the body, okay? And follow, the screen that I'm showing. That creates anxiety. Does it sound familiar to you? Well, that anxiety suppressing your body creates depression, and that depression creates a disease. Okay, that's how all the diseases are created. It all started in the mind. So when you study this methodology, when you study this formula of success, okay, you move yourself from one place to the other. And there's only one way, through study. There's no other way. But when you study, you understand, not just intellectually, but emotionally, and you start shifting your thinking process. Okay, the quality of thoughts improve, your mental chemistry improves, your conscious mind starts engaging with what you want. You gotta make a decision of what you want, and then your subconscious mind will accept it, and that's how you develop faith, right? Faith is a state of mind. Okay, most people relate faith with religion. No, faith is a state of mind, and we teach you how to develop it. And once you have faith, and think about this, fear and faith requires you to believe in something that you don't see. Think about that. Like, fear and faith requires you to believe in something that you don't see. It's your choice. It's your choice. And we help you how to do that. And when you develop faith at a subconscious level, well, you have a body that is well-being, is expressing, is calm, serene, because you know your true potential. You know that you are in control of yourself. Then that creates momentum. That creates acceleration for you to take action, right? Not action from desperation, no. Action coming from inspiration that will get you the results you want.
Principle number 9, right? It's all about attitude and perspective, right? How you see the world, right? Everything is how you see it. Everything is how you say it. I was talking to a client this morning about, she's talking about what was going on around her. And I said, well, take a look inside. You attracted that in your vibration, and whatever you're putting out, you're receiving in. So there's a lot of taking that back for yourself, that your attitude, check it before you start your day. In fact, I know you like to use the stick man to do checking your attitude, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, right? And it's a really cool thing to draw that little stick figure. We all know how to do that. And then literally check yourself before you walk out the door to start your day. When you get up in the morning, and just get yourself in the vibration to achieve the things you're there to do, and do it all in gratitude. And when you do that, everything changes. Quantum leap, I would literally tell you, I thought I knew what that was. I thought that I had done some quantum leaps. If you look back at my life with a telescope right now in the last year, honestly, I have friends that I tell the story to, and they go, stop, I can't take anymore. I'm sweating, kind of thing. I'm thinking of some friends I just had dinner with, and we felt like the whole lights in the place were going on and off, because the surges were so powerful of how powerful you really are when you step into quantum leap thinking and manifesting things, allowing it to happen. Like Scott, my husband, was saying yesterday, he had so much fun watching this life that I live, and he's stepping a lot into this, and I love it too. And he said, it's like magic around you all the time. You say it, you want it, and all of a sudden it shows up. And I'm like, it's like that for anyone. It's not just an Annette thing or an Andreas thing or a Bob Proctor. It's anyone.
The principle number 11 is impressions of increase in you know, for people that are in sales is, you know, sales is not selling you to a client, it's selling, you know, you're doing a sale for someone. I mean, think about that. And everybody is selling. If you are a parent, you're selling your ideas to your kids. Your kids are selling you ideas. If you have a soulmate, well, you're selling yourself all the time, right? I mean, your spouse, your coworker, your partner, if you have a business, you're selling your products and services. So it's very important to really think about how can you leave everybody that comes in contact with the impression of increase, meaning better off that you found them.
And like living life in gratitude, when we can actually envision something in the future and see it as done in our mind and in our heart, and then we put gratitude and energy to the feeling of that, this is when the magic happens. So gratitude really is key. If you were to ask Bob Proctor, like what the #1 practice is that he does daily to manifest the way he does, if he'd tell you gratitudes, doing his gratitudes, being grateful for everything in this day, in this life, the things I have now today and the things I say in the future. And so this is one of my favorite things to teach and share with our clients. And it really is the multiplier to get you what you want in quantum leap fashion. So gratitudes. Let's slide to the next one, because I think there's actually, if you'll go to the next slide, Andreas. I was sharing this with a client, or actually this is my friend Janine. She's not a client as of yet. She's working on some of this stuff. She's she is a oncology nurse specialist with a PhD. And she's, I have one of her daughters is named after me. That's always a gift when someone sees so much love in you, they name a child after you. And so I was sharing with her, she was seeing some of my posts and she was really interested, and she's looking at the principles and working through things. And she was saying, I was telling her about gratitudes, and I was saying about how much that had been bringing to my life and manifesting all these incredible things. And she goes, well, you know, Annette, that's not just like woo-woo stuff. She says, that's science. And I said, well, yeah, I understand that. I said, and she goes, well, let me send you something. She had just done this post from realpharmacy.com on how neuroscience showed that gratitude literally rewires that part of your brain to a happier state. So through repetition, through gratitude, you're actually able to change a belief. And I just thought it was such a beautiful thing to share, because it's science, it's real. It's not because I say it is, or Andreas says it is, or Bob says it is. It's real. And I know it's real because I've experienced, and I know it's real because I'm manifesting incredible things in my life through gratitude. So I wanted to share that. I thought that was a fun slide to share.
So amazing. It's so powerful. Yeah, I love it. It's amazing. And the last but not least is the mastermind principles. I mean, if you really want to grow, you need a team. Okay? And we teach you how to multiply your mind. Okay, how to multiply your mind. Think about that. When you square you, I mean, the potential is infinite. Okay, and we take you step by step how to really start taking your full potential to a whole new level. And you don't have to do it alone. Okay, and if you're stuck, okay, seek for help. Like, seek someone that knows what to do and how to do it, that knows the road ahead. I mean, that's so important. I did it without even knowing. Got my mentors in investments, and then Bob, you know, attract Bob, you know, to my life, and everything changed. And even though we're teaching this, we have our mentors as well, our coaches, even Bob. I mean, like, when you study the most successful people in the world, hey, that's what they do. They all have mentors. Be the change you want to see in the world, in your world, with your family, with your friends, in your community, in your society, in your country, in your business. But it all starts with you. We have to understand that if we don't make the change right now to study ourselves, to really get serious and committed with our results, nothing's gonna happen. And it all starts with a committed decision. I mean, you know, like, for me, that's a dream come true. I mean, a goal that, Annette, you as well, we achieved that goal. You know, being in front of Bob, I mean, spending time with him, having dinner with him, you know, he's our friend. I mean, it's so amazing what you're capable of doing. But if you ask me, was able to do that like 2 years ago, I said, please, you're lying. Guess what? We're a living proof of it. And all we have to do is make a committed decision. Make a committed decision right now to schedule the free one-on-one coaching session that we're offering right now. You don't have nothing to lose, everything to gain. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you that. I mean, look at you. Where are you?
Well, I'm actually in Bob Proctor's studio, and
Beautiful.
that day when I was with Bob, I asked him, I wanted to share his work with the world, and the vision I had at that moment was, I want to build a studio like you, Bob, and
Wow.
use my love for serving others and this beautiful information to change lives, change paradigms, and change the world is my mission. And so I sat there and I asked Bob, I want to build a studio like yours. And he said, well, Annette, let me send you the plans to mine. So I have those plans from Bob Proctor. And not only am I building a home studio where I'll project all over the world, I'm also working on a TV show I'm hoping by the end of 2020, we will be ready to roll. So, and my radio show is Impressions of Increase as well. So all those things that came to me, not just a year ago, are all manifesting in my life. And yeah, it was just so much fun to be right there. And I know we have the same picture of you. And you were talking about making a decision and taking action now. It's like we only have now. We have today. And I tell my clients when they're not ready to step into a decision to whether do a call or start our incredible programs that we offer, it's like you have now to make a decision. You can say when the kids or when this happens or that or the money, listen, the money's not coming near you till you actually make a decision. Everything's in circulation. Get that. The law of circulation is real. The law of attraction. And it's the most successful people in the world. When they make a decision, they make it fast. They know, feel it. You feel it in your stomach. If like this information that Andreas and I have been sharing with you, you've been feeling it, it's been resonating with you. When you think about bringing more potential, more purpose, more things into your life that you want, more love, more health, more finance, more freedom, more travel, whatever you want, Andreas and I are in the business of helping you get what you want. And we're really good at it. And we're really good about it and good at it because we do it. When you want to work with a mentor or someone in your life, you want to get results they're getting. Andreas and I get phenomenal results. And we get that because we believe. We have a deep faith. We have a deep passion and purpose to serve humanity. Andreas talks about it all the time, impacting lives, impacting lives. He's on airplanes around the world. I am too. We're all over the place sharing this information. We're that passionate about it. And so if you're on here right now, I want you to take action for you. Make a decision for yourself. Give us the opportunity to share with you more in a one-on-one opportunity. And let's go. Let's do this. We've got right now, right here, right now. None of us are promised another bite of that apple. We have today. So what are you going to do today for you? What are you going to do to change your results and change your life and bring more of what you want to it? You have an opportunity in front of you today to change that. That was that day for me where a friend sent me a link. And in my gut, I knew it was sent for a reason. You're on here for a reason too. Take a chance on you.
Amazing. And yeah, it's very important to really make the, that leap of faith, and bet on yourself. I mean, I did it not long ago. You did it, and
it changed my life. It changed my life. And I had a great life before. It changed my life. Like making that decision for me literally changed my life at 55 years old. So whatever age you are, wherever you're at in your life, it'll change your life. I guarantee you. It does it for all of the people we work with. So why not you? Why not
Absolutely.
you?
Yeah. But it's on you. You really have to make the committed decision and, click the link, book the free coaching session. Okay. This is a results coaching session that it literally will help you transform your life and your results. I mean, think about it. If you don't do it, who's gonna do it for you?
Mm-hmm.
So that's so important. That's why Napoleon Hill wrote an entire chapter on decision, right? Because it's totally the opposite of procrastination. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week or next year. No, it's today. That's all you have. It's now. It's now. I mean, and we're putting all our pressure on us because we don't think it works. We know it works 100% of the time,
It's a
But it's on
proven
you.
system, proven
Yeah, we
system.
cannot do it for you,
Yeah.
right? I mean, like you really have to, book the meeting, and you will see. I mean, you will need a telescope to look back where you were. I mean, it happened to me. It happened to all of us. So book the meeting. Uh, we hope you enjoyed this masterclass. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your time. It's so valuable. I mean, we really, really, really value your time. And please send us your email, okay, your name, so we can make sure you get a free copy of the international bestseller of all times, Think and Grow Rich. If you already have it, please reply to the email and let us know so we can send you another book. We'll make sure we send you the good stuff. All right. Having said that, thank you so much. Enjoy your day, enjoy your life. And now is the time.
We look forward to hearing from you soon. And truly, thank you for being here today. Thank you. It was an honor.
No, thank you. Likewise. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.